Do you know what's on my mind today when it comes to training? Of course you don't. You can't read my mind. It's a YouTube video. That was a dumb question. But what's on my mind is how some people who are new to strength training and fitness end up getting themselves injured because they just don't know really what they're doing. Hate to say it, but that's often the case. I just read a email from a newsletter I'm on. Very, very popular. One of the top online writers on the internet, which is why I called him an online writer, because he writes on the internet. But very popular. But I think he's into health and fitness. I don't know how much he is, but he's into it because he does mention it into his newsletters, even though that's not what his newsletters are about. But he does share information about himself. And I'm not going to name names because I don't think that's my place. But he does do a fitness routine. And I think he's kind of more of like a vegan type, or he has a very heavy fruits and vegetable based diet, which is honestly probably not the best either when it comes to strength training, but whatever. That's besides the point. So he mentioned that he ruptured his Achilles heel, his Achilles tendon, doing heavy calf raises. First off, dude, what are you doing heavy calf raises when you're new? Especially when, I'm sorry, but this is a skinny dude. He's skinnier than I was, and I was pretty dang skinny before I started lifting weights. I'm still on the very slender, kind of long, lanky side of things because that's just my natural build. I'm built like a sprinter naturally, so tall, lanky, but fast twitch muscle fiber, so I'm fairly strong and athletic. But this guy ruptures his Achilles tendon. Mentions it's a 9-month healing process. Yeah, I believe it, because rupturing your Achilles tendon is no joke. That's a major tendon. That's going to set you back quite a bit. You can still train upper body, do plenty of other stuff, but yeah, you're not doing heavy calf raises for a while. But why is this guy doing heavy calf raises? I'm asking myself this. He doesn't, from the stories he tells about his life before he got into online writing, he doesn't really sound like he has a lot of athletic experience. I don't think he did a lot of sports growing up in high school or junior high or as a teenage years. I don't know how old he is, but he's not real old. Younger than me, quite a bit. Probably I would say early 30s maybe. But yeah, I mean, if you don't have very much athletic experience, especially if you've never ran track or something like that, something that really builds the leg muscles and the tendons in the legs a decent amount, trying to do heavy calf raises from the get-go or early on in your training is not a good idea. Trying to lift heavy in general is not a good idea. Especially you're a newbie, doubly especially if you have a naturally slender or skinny build. You don't have a lot of natural strength or athleticism. You have to build that first. You have to build your athletic foundation through some just basic mobility, stretching, body weight. You should just be doing stretching and body weight for your first year. If you're a naturally skinny guy, your first year of training should be primarily 90% stretching, mobility, and body weight exercises. So calisthenics, beginner level gymnastics, acrobatics, something like that. Something that's more complementary to the fact that you have a slender build. That strength is going to take time, and you're especially going to need time to strengthen your tendons and ligaments and joints for heavy lifting. Okay, that's just the fact of the matter. It's going to take time. Your joints take up to 10, sometimes 20 times longer to heal or adjust to new levels of strength than your muscles do. Your muscles can outpace your tendons. This is what happens to a lot of guys who, are doing gear. Supplements, as I like to call them. Pharmaceuticals. I've never done that stuff, but from what I've heard about guys who have, a lot of them, their muscles get so strong that they get stronger than what their tendons and ligaments can handle, and they end up rupturing a tendon or a ligament, like bench press. World-class, famous world's strongest man competitor, world's strongest man winner, multiple times, Torres Peck doing a bench press a little while ago. So it happens to even the best of them. So if it can happen to someone who's the world's strongest human being on the face of the planet, a guy who's 6'8", 400 pounds, and can deadlift over 1,000 pounds. It's going to happen to you, newbie who has very little athletic experience or very little training experience trying to lift heavy, because that's the popular advice in fitness circles these days. It's that general popular advice that you see on fitness memes. Just lift heavy. Get more sun. Drink more water. It's that simple. No, it's not that simple. There's a little more complex than that. You got to put a little more thought to it. You got to do a little more preparation. Your first 6 months training needs to be mostly joint and mobility preparation, where you're just going to strengthen your joint. You can gain muscle doing that too. Trust me. If you do acrobatics or gymnastics or basic calisthenics training, trust me, you're going to build up some muscle. You build on muscle probably better doing that than you will lifting weights, because it's going to be more friendly for your body type. So, I think there's enough rambling for now. I'm going to talk more about this later. You best rest assured, Internet. We'll talk later, everybody.